This video will now take you through a demonstration of the CBOX. You start by running the CBOX launcher. The launcher will check for and download any new software updates and then open the CBOX software. Although the CBOX can be used as a general test and measurement instrument, its main purpose is to be a powerful teaching tool. It is also the focus of this video, so we will click on Learning Mode. You always start by typing in your username. CBOX uses fingerprint identification, so essentially your fingerprint serves as your password. This has the advantage that users don't have to remember passwords and cannot log in with each other's username, either accidentally or deliberately. After logging in, CBOX automatically checks for new content on the learner management system and download it. As you can see, we use Gamify principles to increase the impact and stickiness of the learning. The first stage, called the Launchpad stage, will take the user from knowing nothing about electricity to having a general concept of electricity, understanding the difference between electricity and electronics, and being able to use the CBOX, including doing practical experiments. You will have to complete the stages in sequence, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we will enter the second stage, called the Rover stage. You select that stage by dragging your CBOX man on top of it with your mouse or finger if you're using a tablet, and then clicking the Start Mission button at the bottom. At this point, you will have to connect the right playboard. All practical experiments in this stage will be done on this playboard, and it serves as your key to entering the stage. We will tell you more about playboards later in this video. At the bottom of the screen is your time remaining for this session. Each session is 1 hour long, and you will be automatically logged out after an hour. Now you are inside the Rover stage. As you can see at the top, this stage has 4 modules, which must be completed in sequence. They turn green as you complete them, and since I've already completed all 4, I'm going to jump to module 2 for this demonstration. You do that by first selecting the module with your mouse or finger. You can see the module's name is Lights. You enter the module by clicking the button at the bottom that says Play or Replay. Now you've arrived in the maze. Although not part of the electronics learning, it is fun to do and great for developing the user's logical thinking abilities. As you can see, there are 4 objects in the maze, as well as the CBOX man. Each object teaches a single concept by means of videos, questions, images, math examples, and most importantly, practical experiments. The rules for the maze are simple. You have to write a sequence of instructions to get CBOX man to the correctly colored object. You have only 3 buttons to instruct him: turn clockwise, turn counterclockwise, and go forward. As you can see, if CBOX man doesn't end up exactly on an object, or if he touches the oil, bad things happen to him. You have to pick up and complete the objects in the color sequence listed at the top middle of the screen. Let's try again to get him to the red object. Once CBOX man is standing on the object, you can click the Play or Replay button. The exact name depends on whether you've fixed this object before. At the top you can also see that this object will teach the concept voltage basics. We've found the maze to be the perfect precursor to the actual learning that follows it, and an important indicator. For that reason, CBOX also tracks the user's attempts inside the maze. Just to recap, we've entered stage 2 and then module 2 of that stage. Then we navigated our CBOX man to pick up object 1 in that module, which will teach us the concept of voltage basics. All these little blocks in the bottom left are learning elements, or LEs for short, and they all contribute to teach the concept of voltage basics, which is the purpose of this specific object. As you complete the LEs, they turn green, and you have to complete all of them before you can move on to the next object. The learning usually starts with an explainer video. CBOX makes the abstract concepts of electricity easy to understand by using animated videos to explain the concept in a more tangible way, and in the process give the user a mental image of the concept. In this demonstration, we are learning about voltage and therefore watching the video "What is voltage?". We keep our videos as short as possible. Rather than boring the user to death with a 30-minute video, we explain the core concept in 3 to 6 minutes and encourage them to watch the video multiple times until they fully understand the concept. The software forces the user to watch the video at least once. You can rewind and watch it as many times as you like, but you can't skip over it. Questions are used to assess the user's understanding of a concept. If you get them wrong or don't know the answer, you can go back to the preceding video and watch it again until you get the question right. Sometimes the concept that was explained in a video is expanded upon by extra reading, which can also be accompanied by images or tables. Engineering is by definition a hands-on discipline, and when companies employ technical workers, they look for those with practical experience. In contrast to this industry requirement, a major limitation of most engineering and technical short courses and all e-learning courses is the practical component. It is difficult or impossible to give the student practical experience in these courses. CBOX solves this problem and elegantly combines theoretical knowledge and practical experimentation into a unified learning experience. You start the experiment by clicking the Do Experiment button. Inside the experiment, the software switches from learning mode to engineer mode, but with an information overlay at the top to guide you. Now you are using the CBOX the way an engineer would use his measurement instruments. All CBOX experiments are done on specially designed experiment boards called playboards. The software shows you which playboard to connect, and it also displays this warning icon if you connect the wrong playboard or no playboard at all. Fortunately, you cannot damage anything by connecting the wrong playboard. We use guided experiments, and the setup screen tells you how to set up your playboards for this specific experiment. Clicking on the Info button will give you some background information about the purpose of this experiment. Clicking the Test button will display the schematic diagram of this playboard and list the actual test conditions that must be met in order to proceed. One cool feature of CBOX experiments is that the schematic is interactive, so you can click on these measuring points to view and measure the signal values at those points on the physical playboard. In this case, I have a voltage of 3.1 volts at M1 and 1.6 volts at M2. My first test condition is to turn on LED 1 with 3.3 volts. You click on Test when you want to see if you've got it right. If you don't get it right the first time, don't worry. CBOX is about trying until you master new concepts and not about getting everything right the first time. So I reconfigure my playboard and will try a second time. Great, I got it right this time. So now I can do the second test. I've learned something from my previous mistake, so this time I passed the test condition the first time. Now I can exit the experiment screen and proceed with learning. The technical and engineering fields are inseparable from mathematics. However, sometimes teachers tend to overcomplicate the math part of engineering. CBOX is not a math teaching tool per se, but it does incorporate math exercises where it is applicable to learn certain concepts. The math exercises are done in steps, so it's not just about getting the right answer, but following the correct steps to get to that right answer. CBOX's training goes much further than the basics. Here's an experiment that follows after the user has learned about digital electronics and binary numbers. In this experiment, you play around with binary numbers. You have to set up the playboard with the specific binary number that will translate to 57 decimal. CBOX also covers radio frequency and communications principles. It starts off with explaining what a radio wave is, in essence. Once the user understands that, it goes on to explain radio wave properties and concepts like amplitude modulation and frequency modulation. It even gives you an understanding of how antennas work. And yes, there's RF playboards so the user can experiment and see the effects of different antennas, etc. Here's a short clip from a video that explains the properties of a radio wave. CBOX can also be used to do industry-specific training. In this video, the CBOX is used to teach workers in a manufacturing environment how to identify and solder components. In true CBOX style, users do the practical part immediately after watching a video on how to do it. When they are done soldering all the components onto the PC board, they simply connect the solder playboard to the CBOX, like they would with any other playboard, and the CBOX tells them if the circuit that they've just built is working. Like the manufacturing playboard is used to train factory workers, CBOX can do customized training for people in other industries too, like automotive technicians, solar energy installers, electrical contractors, and so forth. Every learning activity for every user is logged on a cloud-based learner management system, or LMS. Each student can view his or her progress by going to the website myportal.cbox and logging in with their assigned username and password. There's also a progress report button inside the CBOX software that will open the web browser and log you in automatically. The top of the page shows you the overall statistics. For example, you can see that this user has spent a total of 5 hours learning on the CBOX. Then there's the sessions information block, which gives you an accurate information on when you did learning sessions. Below that is the concepts covered block, which shows you how many concepts you've mastered and some useful information like the total time spent on a concept, how many times you re-watched explainer videos, and your average question score for that particular concept. Below the concepts block is the activity details block. This lists every single learning activity you've done on the CBOX. You can filter the data based on stage, concept, or learning element type. Managers or supervisors at a company get even more powerful reporting functionality from the CBOX portal. As a supervisor, you can group students into classes. In the Class Live page, you can view the overall progress of all students in a class. This page is updated in real time, so you can view it while they are working on their CBOXes. Class Report will give you the overall statistics for the whole class, like the total amount of hours the class spent learning. You can update your company details on the My Organization page. You can also view the history of all training sessions in the company. In the My Credits page, you can view your company's running balance for the training sessions and buy more credits, aka training sessions. Thank you for watching this video. Please make contact with us if you feel that the CBOX technical training will be of benefit to your company, or if you have any questions. You can reach us via our website cbox.education or email us at info@cbox.education.